Good morning. I hope everybody is wide awake after last night's gala event. My name is Raj Kapany. I'm a trustee of the Sikh Foundation and a relative of Dr. Kapany. I've been known to be his younger brother, probably because of the gray hair I've accumulated in preparing for this in the last few days. But I wanted to welcome everybody from around the world that's traveled from London, India, all parts of Europe, East Coast. And I think it's fantastic that everybody has taken the time to come in. I'd like to thank the chairs and the panelists for taking the time to come in. I want to briefly tell a quick story in my mind. Being a child of the 60s myself, I remember when I was 10 years old, 11 years old, growing up in Silicon Valley, and being the only Indian in a high school and having very few Indian people surrounding, how important it is today to have Sikh Studies and Sikh Arts in our lives, because we didn't have it back then. And the major thing that existed in the Valley in the 60s, besides, I think what Sonia had mentioned, the Beatles, Vietnam, the hippie movement, there were 3 or 4 individuals that were Indians in the 60s that came to this country and took companies public, IPO, which was a very, very difficult time to do that. And Rajinder was one of the first, if not the first. Kanwal Rekhi, Inder Singh, Pritipal Singh. And this is in the 60s and early 70s. Hi, Nikki. That's all right. And now, in 2017, we have around the world 30 million Sikhs globally. And it's amazing to me because this group of experts today are going to be sharing their challenges, their struggles, their paths for success. And more importantly, I think the students that are here, or people that are here to learn, are going to be able to be mindful of any pitfalls when they get into any of these fields or chosen fields of Sikh Arts and Sikh Studies. So I think this is a very important session. Tomorrow, you're going to hear about technology, entrepreneurship. You'll hear about public policy, healthcare. This group of sessions over the next couple of days, I think, is going to be very pertinent to our lives. But I think I would encourage the youth that has the opportunity to be involved in this community and also be involved in these segments that you'll hear over the next 2 days. Take advantage of it, learn what you can, but don't stop there. Keep going. You know, progress has been made over the last 50 years. The Sikh Foundation has put in place numerous chairs, numerous art exhibits around the world, and compared to where it was in the 60s, my God, it's an amazing feat that's been accomplished. So with that, and without further ado, I'd like to introduce our first chair, Dr. Mark Juergensmeyer, Professor of Sikh Global Studies, UCSB, Professor of Sociology, Kundan Kaur Kapany, Chair of Global and Sikh Studies, Affiliate Professor of Religious Studies at the University of California, Santa Barbara, Founding Director of the Global and International Studies Program, and the Orphalais Center for Global and International Studies. He's an expert in religious violence, conflict resolution, South Asian religion and politics, and has published more than 200 articles and 20 books, including God in the Tumult and of the Global Square, and Religion and Global Civil Society. So with that, we'll get started. Mark, take it away.
Well, thanks, Raj. We have a splendid panel prepared for today. As I told Raj last night, we're going to try to take the temperature of Sikh education and academia in the present day. Before I do that, I have to tell you that just a couple months ago, I saw the picture of the Golden Temple out there. I was in Amritsar, happily back in Punjab, where I lived many years ago. And I met with Professor Dhillon of the Guru Nanak Dev University, the director of the Guru Nanak Dev Studies Center there. And then we went to the Golden Temple, the Darbar Sahib, and met with a farmer Jatadar of the Darbar Sahib in the precincts of the SGBC. I mean, it's like the holy of holies for Sikh political institutions, and I was inside these august chambers. And so I was trying to explain to the Jatadar that, you know, I was from the University of California, but I was also associated with the Sikh Foundation, and I started explaining what that was, and he said, oh, no, no, no. He says, the Sikh Foundation of Palo Alto? Everybody knows that. They do wonderful work in Sikh education. I said, yes, that's it. That's the one. And suddenly I was somebody. I, you know, wasn't just some, you know, wandering American academic. I was connected with the Sikh Foundation. So you should know, Raj, and you should know all the Kapanis and everyone associated with the Sikh Foundation, that our glories have gone wide throughout the world, and at the center of Sikh Studies, they know who we are. Today we're going to look at the way in which Sikh Studies is incorporated into universities and colleges of higher education. And you'll notice that there are two kinds of us. There are those of us who are Sikhs, who are very proud of our tradition and want to go further and to depth in the academic study of it. But there are also those of us who are not Sikhs, who simply recognize the importance of the richness and the depth of the Sikh tradition and feel that it deserves a niche in American scholarship. In the University of California, Santa Barbara, for example, when we received some endowment funding from the Sikh Foundation in honor of Rajinder Kapany's mother, Kundan Kaur Kapany, we looked internationally for the best person, and we came up with wonderful candidates, but finally decided on Gurinder Singh Mann, who helped to build a very impressive research program at UC Santa Barbara. He's in India now. He was not with us at this conference, but in the interim, I am the Kundan Kaur Kapany Chair of Sikh Studies at the University of California, Santa Barbara. And I haven't worn a turban since I lived in the Punjab about 30 years ago. And you don't want to see how I looked then. But it's just temporary. This fall, we're going to go on an international search for a new permanent professor of Sikh and Global Studies at the University of California, Santa Barbara. So if anyone has some good ideas about good candidates, let me know, because we'll be going on our search probably this fall for a new professor to begin in the fall of 2018. So that's one way in which Sikh Studies is incorporated into academia.